Oh, well, as you can see, we're ready. Enough caffeine to take down a Rhino as we get this show on the road. It's Mirage to kickstart things, picked here by SemperFi. I'm really looking forward to seeing how this game gets underway, man. This should be really spicy. And I will say, just something out the gate, Keen's gone for a deagle on the pistol. Like,
I was going to mention that as well. We were talking about this yesterday, as Neo is a self-admitted deagle user in the pistol.
Yep.
Which we're going to see. Maybe there's some legs behind it. Maybe Keen's got something to show us here. He is taking in towards middle. That was a bit of a simple classic back in the day. He used to love doing that. Mid-Mirage. They are just hanging around at the moment outside of B, I think, looking to see if there's a PVISION move to come their way and take a late execute. So we're certainly behind that. Could work out for them. Keen just keeping attention, but nothing too noisy at the moment.
Can't believe he's got a deagle. Deagle no armor. You gotta love it, right? Not even raid boss as well. Like, it's not even like he's bought armor and it's been dropped over. And it's all for nothing. Doesn't really get anything with it. So that falls apart. This slow round here, they're now diving through a Molotov and in towards this B site. Zelo, backside, trying to make something work here, but nothing's really coming to fruition. Hazard gonna get a double, make that a triple as he swings in towards backside. Okay. Maybe there is legs here. Noja's got other ideas. He'll dive in, get one, but Hazard again gets another kill. He's looking for all 5 as well. Addict will steal away the last, but what a start here by SemperFi.
Yeah, looking really good. I mean, Hazard with a fantastic round. That's, again, something we mentioned. Can the individuals perform? He'd be another one on people's lips on this team. And he's done brilliantly there to give them the pistol, but on that B bomb site that was overstacked by PVISION. They were very, very ready for the B hit there, and unfortunately have not delivered. So looking good for SemperFi, and just exactly what you need, that breath of fresh air to open up this map. We got the Force coming in, and an early tag from James, making himself known with a quick shot around the corner.
Yeah, that's nice. The real hope here, right, kind of for James with the Scout, is if he can soften the mob, Pistol see them off, or vice versa. The MP7, of course. Zway's pretty dangerous. 5-7 in the hands of Elchinok. I want to overlook these weapons. Just wonder as well for SemperFi. The thing is with this side, as what we've seen from the pistol, they are playing like quite slow here in a lot of these T-side rounds. PVISION never really get phased by slow play. That's their bread and butter.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. No, that is a very good point you raise. We'll find out as things develop, but this strong start, if they can convert it into that clean 3-0, I think with every round they win, SemperFi are just going to get looser and more comfortable, a little less nervous. Yeah. Started off with some keen damage on both sides here. Short control coming in though, and that is something unfortunately that was indeed overlooked. Nota here on the deagle, looking for maybe 1 or 2 more heads. We got James. Zello backing up pretty quickly. James going to lose his. All the CTs coming in from Market. It's a decent little spot for them. They're here quite quickly as the Scout is recovered. Nota goes unchecked. Oh no. Shadi is low here as well. This is not looking good if you ask me. They've had that bomb hit the deck. They're going to need to find it sooner rather than later. Shadi comes in from the side.
Good time, by the way.
This is a little dangerous. I think that bomb got dropped at bench, didn't it? Yeah. It was just kind of unrecoverable. And there went the timer. SemperFi with some of that nervousness that we talked about getting in the way.
Yeah, that's a mistake that you don't want to be making. And that might be costly as well. He just about survive. So he keeps the Galil in play, sure, but it's still not the way that you want to be going about things. And a very early timeout as well taken by SemperFi.
I mean, it's not great signs, is it, to be honest? Like,
no.
When we talk about like the energy and the mindset, something I really like focusing on in the game of Counter-Strike, the losing of the Force buy like that, we can all see they're a bit tense. No one wants to move. They got to check with everyone before they go for a peek. And then an immediate timeout is, sometimes it can be a good thing to have the early timeout. I think this quick, it just speaks to a panic, like, what do we do now? What's going on? How do we play this? Yeah,
I couldn't agree more. It really doesn't look good on the surface in a sense when you're going for a timeout like that. It really feels like, in a sense, arguably, I'd say premature, because you haven't given enough time to really gather information about what PVISION are approaching things at the moment. being their map pick, there is an onus on SemperFi, and we've kind of built it up as well when we saw the veto that they need to take this map if they want any chance at the series. The next map, Dust 2, surely just no chance in hell. You can have all the prep in the world and all the tape to look back on with PVISION, but they are just so strong on that map, hence why it's been their go-to pick for such a long time, kind of as they made that run through the tier 2. So there's a force buying response around that save Galil. Upgraded pistols, but a loss here for SemperFi. Not only PVISION get the second, but they get the freebie of a third behind it with the broken econ.
We'll find out here. There's definitely something brewing for the T side. Trying to burst in towards middle. Oh, taking some dinks, but they've done a lot of damage. And first kill coming in for Belchonok. That might just be enough for my money.
You're probably right.
Nice lineup. But if they can take a gun away, if they can maybe chuck an M4 out of the map, that would certainly help their campaign moving forwards. There's hardly any money for the CTs actually in tow. Yeah. So yeah, any kills are going to be really, really valuable here. I
guess that previous round, it was ultimately kind of expensive. Nota. Got a nade in his back pocket. If he had used it like now, it would have been great. But he'll dive in with the rifle. Good for one. Gets the support of Belchonok and James. They just dissect this connector play. Unfortunately for Keen, there's no chance in hell. He's got his trusty Deagle out, which did nothing in the first round, and it does nothing again here. Flawless round for PVISION. You'd expect that with that level of buy, but it's nice to see it nonetheless. PVISION, a pretty effortless one. I'm still concerned about SemperFi, you know, not only kind of with the tac pause and that whole narrative around it, but like, it doesn't seem like there's a lot on offer in these T-side rounds. Like, it doesn't seem like there's that much of a formulaic plan here.
Yeah. As I said, I mean, if they were winning rounds, converting rounds, they'd sort of loosen up, but they immediately get stopped. So, yeah, I don't quite know what to say. There's some direction here as they're trying to get the bomb out, but unfortunately not going to work. The quick nade in towards CT maybe didn't quite make it deep enough as he died pretty quickly into the round.
Very easy for Belchonok. I think he was a bit perplexed because he was like sort of expecting them to swing him, and then he eventually gives it a second check, and both of them are on wood next to each other, not looking at him after he's already got 2 kills. So he just taps both of them down. Either way, PVISION, let's be frank, they're loving life at the moment. This is so far a pretty simple game. SemperFi aren't offering up lots. You have a buyback in play. Let's see. I mean, Addict just let one cross. There was a flash over, sure, but none of them were blind enough. So Nota's got a bit of a luxury there, getting back in towards Connector, and he'll drop a smoke in towards the bottom side of it. Jetty creeps his way forward. May try and be cheeky around this, but I have a feeling Nota needs to be careful. As that smoke starts to fade, Shady might have the advantage.
It is possible. Yeah, it's the info game. Beautiful moves. Absolutely beautiful moves. Something that I think PVISION might pick up into this tournament. They were kind of abused by Vitality with a lot of the setup reads and whatnot, and nade spams and things like this. So I do feel like PVISION have been doing some work on their locational knowledge and
I agree.
Getting those nades down range. Beautiful way to start things. And now a boost as well to just watch for the response. So far, it's flawless from PVISION here in the first rifle. I mean, really great moves.
Yeah, this had all the makings of being one of the most one-sided games, right? And so far, it's playing out exactly like that. It's a gulf in terms of the level, and Belchonok showing why. Nota, he will get caught by Hazard, and Belchonok will dip himself back in towards jungle. He's getting hunted down, though, and that's a risk. He walks straight into the trap as James there with an AWP. Hazard going to try and get this bomb down, but he actually will get it planted. Surely all for naught, and it's a quick trade off the back of that spam through triple. So bomb goes down, a couple of kills, but ultimately that round was never in doubt. Another for PVISION as they extend the lead now to 3.
Yeah, looking very clean while doing so. A couple tests for them, find the entries, get the clean retake going. So I think they can be very, very happy with the way that this has panned out. SemperFi stuck, certainly. I think it is safe to say. Do they take another timeout here? Do they just keep going through the motions and trying to figure things out? Big questions. They're going to go somewhere down the middle in terms of the buy. So Certainly a fan of that, but the hero AK out. Hazard's been kind of holding his own a little. A couple nice shots.
I'll give him credit, yeah. He's looking sharp. With that quad kill on the pistol. We'll give it a little boost, but ultimately speaking, yeah, he's looked really solid. Uta. Surely an unorthodox angle here. I just can't see SemperFi expecting this. It's a smoke fade. He might even get two. He's lucky to get two, to be perfectly honest, but we'll see. Waiting for the cross, and he actually will get caught. Hazard. Hero AK living up to the moniker. Gets the opener. If they can get a bit of room in towards mid, they do have a smoke to cross. They could recover that gun if they wanted to, but they're actually not going to opt for that. Setting smoke going to be thrown. They're going to head back towards the A site. There's two players in this direction. James here in towards connector. Belchanok, the A side anchor. Once again, they might get a plan out of this.
It is true. They've got a rotator now coming in, so ready for an A hit. Convinced of an A hit, actually. And it will indeed be one. Come flying out. Oh, it's a nice trade. Oh. James, though, is uncovered, not smoked off, and he will capitalize. Spotted a little tip of a head, so I don't think so on that boost. They do indeed call it off. The bomb has to make its way in. Meanwhile, they have Addicts actually in behind, so they're trying to wait for that. Gonna walk into James here.
They're gonna go to B.
Oh my!
Oh no!
Away is James. If he got a second, that would be crazy. There's not loads of time. 15 seconds. Someone is now watching the B rotations. They're forced in towards A. Zello with an open angle, able to drop one, looking for the next, and surely got to get away with this. Plant attempted, but not going to happen. And SemperFi, it slips away.
It's a bit of a rough watch, isn't it, for SemperFi? Like, opportunities were there, and sure, we can kind of talk about, you know, give them a little bit of space because of the buy they had to work with, but man, that's so rough. You get Hazard who rotates through. If anything, them swinging into jungle with the bomb on their back, that's the worst play there. What they need to do is have that B player come through, clear out jungle to give them the pathway going towards the site, but instead, they sort of overcook it. They go a little bit too quickly. Gives PVISION an opportunity to get back into it. So, credit to them. Yeah, that's a tough watch, for sure. PVISION just continue to extend this lead. Yes, that round was closer, and yeah, there's like a little bit of a fight here, but again, I'm not getting enough out of SemperFi to have the belief that they can take rounds properly on this T side, especially when guns are in play. I wouldn't have minded attack pause here as well, right? It's like
turning point.
Yeah, we had like attack pause earlier off the back of a bad round, but like ultimately, considering the buy they had, that is an okay round from SemperFi. They've done something with it. That'd be a nice moment to have a bit of a conversation and say, right, this is how we're going to find gaps. We've already kind of just done it there, but we're going to just start, you know, move around the map as a pack and however they want to cook it. But let it run in. They slow things down massively here. They've done nothing for the first, essentially, minute of play.
And still going. Still freezing. Not a lot of movement at the moment. Keen spotted out. It's kind of about the only action that we've had all round, really.
Yeah.
A little bit of utility in towards Con here. It looks like they want to go for a B finish. James is so locked in and ready for this, though. Certainly not going to be easy. They jump across. It doesn't matter. He will lose his teammate in on the site, though, so it is just him for a brief window. He takes another one with him. Rotation coming in. James trying to survive here desperately, and he is doing a good job. 10 seconds to get the bomb down. James will take another, eventually falls, but there's hardly any time. They have to cover off. They will just about squeeze out the plant, and somehow it's a 1 versus 2. Belchanok has crept in. Can he find them both? He hits the bullet so very low on the AWP, and Belchanok will deny. Absolute heartbreak on B, the closest SemperFi have come since the pistol.
Bit of pandemonium in that round as well.
Absolutely.
But I mean, credit to James first and foremost. However, you have to then throw the conversation on the flip side for SemperFi. Like, the communication has got to be a lot better. You got James, who's posting towards back pillar, who gets the kill on the first guy crossing out of apartment. The fact that he's able to fall away, spotted by the short guy, posted on that angle, and he gets a second kill because they're overlooking it. They think he's somewhere elsewhere on the site. Like, that is unfortunate. It's just poor communication. It actually cost them 2 kills in that sense. And the fact that he then swings for a third, that's, you know, a nice shot, but they've got to do a better job. They had utility to clear him, they don't. and he's given way too much space to just maneuver around that back pillar and just keep taking pop shots. Credit to him. Also credit, of course, to Belchinok in that clutch. Fantastic work. There's been a couple of people talking about, like, if PVISION are going to make changes, Belchinok would be the guy a lot of people would kind of look to be the first out the door, but I think he offers up so much. On the anchoring positions, in late rounds as well, I think he can be so massive for this side, and that's a showing of it. Brilliant work. Dissecting the 1 versus 2 effectively. Love to see it. 6-1. PVI, it's going from bad to worse, unfortunately. That's their closest, and still not good enough.
Yeah, and then the immediate timeout afterwards as well, Neo. For me, it doesn't feel like a good sign. I think I worry a little bit. Reactive again on the timeout, which was exactly the case earlier.
They always taught me in my football days, be proactive, not reactive.
Well, there you go.
There we go.
I mean, it's good advice.
It is.
And it does extend to a lot of angles of life,
That's
to be
footballers
honest.
are thinking, 2 steps ahead.
Yeah, well, of
I mean?
course. Of course. There's a lot of stepping in football in general.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you do use your feet a bit. Molly down. It's a nice little double for Keen and Shady. Latvians will out the server here. They're looking for more, but Keen will get caught by Nota. He'll fall back out of Murder Hole, but at the same time, ladder control has been taken. And Zway's trying to wrap him behind here. Oh, he could be caught, but he's actually going to do the catching. Shady exposed to the angle. Where are we looking? Savage, hello! Your teammate has just been caught from that angle and actually has a planting in a very dicey spot. Yeah, there's a smoke down, but that very easily could have been spammed. Now, 1 versus 3. Hazard's easily been the star of this SemperFi side so far, but surely this is too tall a task. There's Utah to work as well. Double nade, molly, double flash, and the smoke on this retake. And they've got 2 kits in play. Sure, damage has been dealt, but the fact that when he finds his first kill, it'll expose him. And now he's got to try and decipher where the rest of them are. Molly down. He's holding down Mouse One, but it's not enough. And Jane will see it off with the AWP. Time is close, but I think they've just about got it. And they do. Another one for PVISION. Yes, it's close, but ultimately, this lead is getting out of the realms of reachable.
Yeah, I mean, there are a couple of nice moments, exciting moments and whatnot, but yeah, they do just need, on a practical level, to convert the rounds, and they're not doing that. So it is tough. I mean, Hazard had a couple opportunities there. We had some missed shots from James, I think, out from CT that perhaps he could have landed. Really, really solid stuff here from PVISION as a whole, though. They are looking very impressive. Couple of players over on SemperFi, as we maybe feared, just not shooting back. And that is ultimately what the past couple of close clutch moments have come down to.
Yeah.
Some aggression from PVISION. That's a little against the grain, but they make it work.
Well, let's kind of talk back to our head-to-head a little bit, right? We kind of brought up Nota and Savage, but basically because they're not the stars of their respective sides, but they're kind of the guys who, if they are popping off and they're doing well, it's actually a really good reflection of the side. And the flip side, if they're struggling, it's also a reflection of kind of the side as a whole. And you look at it, Nota looking very comfortable, very strong, doing a lot of really decent leg work in a lot of these kind of strong positions. Well, on the flip side, hate to kind of beat a man while he's down, but Savage is still yet to frag, 0-8. And it is reflecting this SemperFi side who are struggling to get rounds on the board. Just as I say that, though, Savage will get his first kill. Down goes James. That'll help. Now they're trying to maneuver their way in towards the A site. Break open under the smoke. That'll expose one. Sway can't capitalize upon it, especially with Zila going down. This is the best looking round that SemperFi have had for a hot minute here. Oh, I say that. I do say that so early because Sway's going to find 2 and Nota comes in the back line to see off Hazard. That was the best looking round for SemperFi and they double swing CT and they both lose their life. Oh, that is such a rough play. Everything was looking like it was set up for success for the Aussie Corp. And unfortunately, they let it slip.
Yeah, it's so difficult. I mean, when you're in a situation like that, you have to be absolutely have to be capitalizing if you want to compete here. And it just seems there is a real lack of completion from SemperFi. And I think now it's going to start to get into the realms of, are you capable at this point? This is their map pick. It's falling away. Very much so. desperately trying to work their way in here. Keen moving forwards will be naded down. Addict finds the first death through that smoke. Keen going down over on B. James keeps them coming, and it's just all too simple here for PVISION.
Yeah, I mean, this is going from bad to worse, and they're struggling to really even get themselves into competitive spots. I keep giving him credit. Hazard's not doing too shabby. In his head-to-head duels, he's looking all right, but ultimately, he's just given these mammoth tasks. Third and final. Timeout here by SemperFi, and what do we even do here, realistically speaking? I mean, I don't even know what you bring up. Like, we're going for quicker rounds, nothing's really happening. We're going for these slower pace rounds, and it's a similar thing. Like, you know, PVISION they're just not phased. Like, nothing really is being, or, you know, is hurting this PVISION side. Like, this is a team that are just so unbelievably confident right now, and unfortunately, I kind of will reiterate this is sort of expected a little bit, but man, this is tough to watch.
Yeah, just the little things as well, you know, like that spamming through the wood barely ever happens, but it just feels like everything is going right for PVISION at the moment.
They've got the little nuanced things in their locker, right? We spoke about it a bit earlier with the kind of the nade stacks and stuff like that. Like, this is actually where I think PVISION, especially throughout the tier 2 when they were starting to really climb the ranks, that's how they were finding the gaps. They popped it towards A quickly, mid-centers, as James found 2 with the AWP. This can still get a little dicey. These Tech-9s are running and gunning, and they're causing problems, and they're hitting heads. 2 versus 2 now. Shady and Addict taking on James and Sway, but just above that smoke, James popped his head up for yet another. Third in the round, and it's all on the shoulders of Shady, and from the heavens, James rains down. His 4th in the round. The pop in towards A had something behind it, but just not quite good enough.
Yeah, James looking so calm, I think, is the big thing in this game as well. Finding a lot of very heavy impact moments. And then, of course, just the consistency. We get a little bit of it in that round, leading from the front, as he so often does. But that's also one of the big things, right, that I think we've been touching on. And maybe he's able to bring people with him when they've had this taste of tier 1 again, and you think that it's going to be difficult. James is able to bring the same level. He's able to boost everyone up. I remember they won Bounty, and the whole team was like, it's James, it's Dastan, it's all them. You know, they were really thankful of the guys. So that experience is obviously paying off.
Savage is dead here. Surely. Surely.
Talk. Oh, 3 smoke, and Belchonok a little asleep at the wheel.
Yeah.
There you go, opening kill for SemperFi. Just as the thought pops in my head, are we going to see them find anything before the turn of the half? And there is potential. Man advantage and a lot of space to work with. Up connector they will go. James still here. Can he drop the bomb before it crosses? No, Molly comes in. So round is back on, but SemperFi in control of things.
PVISION caught up on the retake. Already done great work when it comes towards retaking this A site. James just got to slow things down. You see, there's a player coming through from short, dropping towards connector, and we already have Zelo's been fighting through jungle. They're going to pop in towards the CT play, but this didn't work out for them last time. The missed shot from James will open the door here to a second round for SemperFi. Time is ticking in this 2 versus 3. Sway. Oh, he's all that's left now as well as Zelo hits the deck. This one's done here, mate, I think.
Yeah, not looking too likely. Sway moving in, taps on the bomb, just can't find any of the heads, and indeed, that will be the 10-2. So something for SemperFi to work with, a tiny amount, but not sure that it's going to be enough here, folks. We're going to take a break. We'll be back.
And that's what... Oh! Laser beam!
Hope you enjoyed those bangers. We are back for potentially a soft banger here, as if you are a PVISION fan, the tournament's starting pretty well by the looks of things. SemperFi holding on for dear life here on Mirage, their own map pick, and then they have the scary Goliath of Dust 2 coming up next, which, not sure how we feel about that. I think it should be a PVISION 2-0 if they can clean up Mirage.
Yeah, safe to say that first half was a non-factor for SemperFi, so it needs a completely different showing in towards their CT side. Let's see. Shady getting aggressive here. I kind of like this move. What has he got for us, though? Well, ahead is the first find. As he dips in for a second. He's confident. And he's crisp with the support of Keen. Down go the opening two for PVISION. James taking damage as well. And Belchinok walks straight into a death trap on B. Okay, SemperFi, the halftime team talk and the orange slices have really helped out.
Yeah, the pistols in general going very well.
Yeah.
This one looking to be no contest, though. Exactly what you want. Oh, there you go. Keeping the crispness coming. He'll take a headshot of his own. So he does have to back away. It now becomes a question of, can we get any kills? And then maybe can we get a bomb plant? Sve, though, surely not a chance here. He's got no armor even. We'll take the head of one, looking for another. They're both left on pretty low ammunition. Got to be careful with his pathing here. There is a couple players hot on his heels. They're ready to take him down.
Is he going to get caught? He might be close, you know. Might be close.
Well, they're going to see him. They're going to see him. His Palace player's ready. Oh, and he's got his knife out. Wait a minute. Okay, I was going to say, if he guessed the wrong way, he might get knifed on 4 HP, but thankfully it does not go that way. It does not end in embarrassment. So a nice clean pistol for SemperFi to begin this comeback trade.
Yeah, I love the move there by Shady and Keen, right? You know, they both should go for a double play in towards top mid, and they just take fights. Like, it's a pure contact play. It's a very confident play as a whole as well, which is good to see, considering the first half that this side have just had. And that's the perfect way to kickstart yourself into a recovery. Granted, this road to recovery is mammoth for SemperFi, but a pistol and a freebie of a second round force buy is exactly what it's all about. It's that first gun round which is the real true test. It could go right back to how proceedings were, but let's see. They're diving in towards A, and Zelo and Nota with the first two fall. It looks like more bodies will drop around. Dominoes as they fall for this side. The MP9 gets the luxury of facing a Glock, so it's an easy win in that head-to-head. And the last man of Jane, P250 for him. He might get a consolation, and he does, which he'll take. MP5 scooped up. Bit of cash.
Yeah, I think he was hoping it was an M4. It looked a bit like an M4 initially with the suppressor, but not the case, so he will go down pretty quickly. Nice little follow-up. No funny business here. And we'll see whether SemperFi can survive, right? Despite their hefty leads, PVISION have gone for the early rifle buy, get those guns out, and just lay down the law here. And as you said, this is the real kind of test of whether we've got anything going here or if it will just go back to the regular play for PVISION.
Yeah, that's it. These smokes come through. Top mid and window, but they're going aggro towards mid once again, SemperFi. I love the sort of proactivity they're here for them. It worked in the pistol, and they're going to do it again in the first gun round. But let's see. Nade will come deep, and that is a chunk of damage. Oh my. Nota and Sway are left reeling as shrapnel shreds them to bits. And they're diving out on towards this B side. But Zelo's a monster! Oh my god! 4 kills for him as he lights up the server, and SemperFi are left in an awful spot. Savage with it all to do in a 1 versus 4. This is surely no chance in hell. A one-man battering ram in towards the B site.
That is crazy. It took me a minute to pick my jaw off the ground. Honestly, that is wild.
No reaction.
Just what they are capable of. Yeah, come on, man. That's how you...
Average day at the office.
Aura farming, that's what they call it, right? You know? We're maybe on the camp of just, you got to celebrate.
Yeah. I always wonder what his tattoos meant. I don't know if you ever know.
not really looked into them, to be fair. The hand tattoos is a level, though. You know what I mean? It's like hand and neck is like...
It's got to be painful,
I don't know.
Surely.
Yeah, a little bit. You got, like, knuckles, thinner skin.
Yeah.
But it's also just, like, not something you can hide anymore, you know? So you're really out there. You don't give a damn anymore.
Yeah. I feel like they will fade as well, or no?
Maybe. Depends on your care. Depends on what kind of work you do.
I don't have
working
any
in the sun and
tattoos, so.
stuff. Yeah, I got a couple.
Yeah. Phase?
Yeah, I got the face tattoo. Don't remind me. Lost a bet.
Yeah.
All right. Not my fault. Kind of my fault for getting involved in the bet, I guess.
I feel like mine would be sentimental. I feel like
the first one definitely has to be. Yeah.
I feel like maybe right. If I work my first major, whoever wins the major, I'll tattoo that logo.
Could be good.
That's a good one. Or like something around it, maybe the date.
I like a lot of there's a few pro players with like crosshairs on their fingers. I might.
Oh
might
yeah,
get that.
That's kind of a vibe. Yeah,
I like that.
This is as a round for SemperFi, it's a very important one, of course, in the sense of they force bought in, but opening 2 kills is just so simple. Azza and Shady hit the deck so easily, and still not even a point of damage dealt towards the T side. Savage going to go for a contact swing here. Oh, I don't like this. Belchinok is so ready for it. And of course, going to come out on top. Belchinok was expecting that to be the case. Addict on towards the side. There's so many bodies to fight from so many sides. And it's noted the third man swinging out. Who will catch him on the cross? Keen, the last man in this round, and he dies as well. Flawless for the likes of PVISION as they find map point on their opponent's map pick.
Yeah, they're in the groove, man, on that T side, able to control the game just completely. Really, really solid as they look set to take this one over the line with no real hiccups. The pistols going against them seems to be something that SemperFi have got in their locker, I suppose,
True.
but beyond that, not much else. They will be, of course, forcing into this one 4 Deagles plus the MP9. Workable, but it just feels inevitable at this point. 8 in a row going to be required.
And look at the buy, 8 in a row where they've got to kind of do it against what is statistically a massive anomaly.
Yeah.
And then the statistical and massive anomaly of then doing 8 rounds in a row, like, surely no chance. It's nice where it started, though.
Yeah.
He does love his Eagle, Keen, doesn't he?
Yeah. Could certainly see a couple more of those coming in. The free opening kill. Don't get the gun, that's the only thing. James being a nerd and just moving it out. It's 12-4, bro. And he's throwing it out of the map.
Do not take anything for granted. That's why James does what he does. Zelo, a couple here, but he might overlook the close angle. No, he doesn't. He's so quick, so sharp. Will he expect a second? It's looking like the answer's going to be no! And he does just about get away with the kill hazard. That was nearly one of the fumbles of all time.
Yeah, we did see that. Meanwhile, in towards middle. This fight's going down. It's Shady, meanwhile, that finds another kill out towards A, I believe, that's going to scare them off of the A-bomb site. Also, with 2 different names in the kill feed, confirms that it is both players on A. So they're trying to quickly make B, but he's here fast, and he's recovered an M4.
Hazard can get a gun as well, you know.
Oh, he's not quite ready. Reacts fast enough. 20 seconds, so plenty of time for James to work with, trying to isolate this fight. And he will. So brings it down to the 1 versus 1, and there's really not anybody you want to see in this. That's for damn sure. Up against James in the 1-on-1. He fakes it out, takes the peek, and misses the shot by an inch, maybe even a millimeter. We'll be able to get that plant and reset the round, and now has to figure out how he wants to play this. His pathing is perfect, but another missed shot from James. He will be kicking himself not to close it out then and there. SemperFi have to battle hard to stay alive.
And I think as well, when you look towards James, it's not only surprising just in general, but he's actually having a fantastic map. He looks so, clean and comfortable in terms of his fights. But 2 back-to-back misses like that is sort of unexpected for the role of form that he's been on. But honestly, as a whole, nice round. SemperFi coming towards that one with base upgraded pistols and a bit of utility, and to walk away with a round is big. But like we said, that's one statistical anomaly. They've now got to chain multiple of those together to be able to pull off this recovery on their map pick. It is a mammoth undertaking for this side. And B9 in play for Savage, rest of the side. A pretty decent buy. Addict can opt for the FAMAS as he prioritizes utility, but at least Keen gets that AWP in play. Well, still a buy in response for PVISION. He's on deck for them. He didn't flash in, but the flash does more to Jane than anyone else, to be honest. So I have to rework that one a little bit. Back to the drawing board.
Yeah, not ideal. A lot of info here for SemperFi as they've moved a man through the apartments. So going to be ready for what should primarily be an A move. Whether they can stand off against it, though, is the next question. 2 crispy headshots to kick us off. Keen mollied out. Savage is the last line of defense over here, and he's only good for 1. It's going to be Hazard, who was on this epic flank with all the information that they just couldn't capitalize on, who is left to save the day for SemperFi. Certainly having a decent map. Might be able to get 1 or 2, I'll give him that, but surely not all 4.
They are so used to this boot camp that they've been playing on. They're so used to grinding out online Counter-Strike. Like, they were the kings of it last year. They went on such a good run, starting from basically unranked, basically from 0, making their way all the way to a top 30 by the end of the year. Playing through the likes of your CCTs and playing through the likes of whatever tier 2 online tournament was around. There wasn't even very many lands in the run required. There was a couple towards that tail end, like the Lands of the world, but for the most part, their ranking came from the grind of the tier 2. So, PVISION, in this stage where it is online, they're so comfortable. This is not going to phase them at all, where I feel like it's a little bit more uncomfortable for tier 1 sides that are just used to constantly playing on LAN environments. Either way, we're underway. Number 2 here. Dust 2 picked by PVISION as they'll start on that T side. Keen, this is a kind of a nice move here. He's tucked it. There's just no way in hell that Sway will expect this. We've had some good pistols already, and this is looking like could be another one of that.
Yeah, absolutely. Started very, very well. Into the 5-on-3, charging towards B. It's getting messy over here, though. Oh, Jane
no.
Finds himself in a really good spot. Not able to find, you know, all those kills that we saw coming his way, but he will scare them off. Will slow the roll. That could be beneficial. They're starting to slowly but surely move away. Nota's in a bit too deep. Takes one down with him. Azur and Shady are pretty low here. Oh no.
Hang
oh
on.
no. Nota just keeps the kills coming. Oh man. That is the egregious one. 1 HP. And suddenly Shady finds himself all alone. With a lack of info as well, you figure Nota, they're trying to join him, they're trying to hit the B-bomb site. But no, the bomb, meanwhile, crept up long and got miles away from him. So absolutely wild stuff.
What a recovery from PVISION this round. The opening 2 kills don't go their way, and they somehow, while being stuck in between mid and the B site, have made a round out of this. Shady, the last man, spotted. 16 points of HP and about to be double swing in just a second, that is for sure. Ducked in towards backside. He'll get up on top of the box, but he can't find anything. Jame body spams to close. And just like that, it'll be an opening round for Jame and the young crew. And yeah, again, you got to look at that as being a quite egregious mishap from SemperFi. Like, it starts quite well. Like, that key moving towards upper B is kind of brilliant. And the fights they're finding around it are quite nice. Like, they were winning out head-to-heads early, and then they just overfight. But not only are they overfighting, they're doing it one by one.
Yes.
So they're giving head-to-heads, and in these heavy heads, you're always going to expect PVISION to come out on top, no matter if it is a 5 versus 3. If you're going to give them 5 1v1s, more often than not, they're going to win all 5. So beautiful work coming through. But for SemperFi, you can't be losing rounds like that. You can't be squandering advantages like that.
Yeah, not on the same page, right? And I think we can all see that. To be honest, not great. Force out for the CT side, and they'll attempt to make themselves known here. 3 SMGs certainly could happen. You know, the Deagles and the Scout at range, you'd probably give them a slim advantage over these SMGs. The MP7 remains in the conversation. Is it busted? Is it OP? I feel like it was for like a week. And now it's just in the realm of being another SMG, really.
I still think it's really strong. Like, really strong. In the right hands, that is. I mean, when we catch teams like Payne, for example, we'll see Bigazera using it a hell of a lot.
Yeah, but I didn't feel like it had the crazy impact. He was using it over like the MP9.
Yeah.
And I feel like
I think it's better than the MP9.
Sure, but it's a bit more expensive. So maybe you'd expect that, you know.
It's the price of a flash.
Yeah,
yeah. I think it outputs a lot more, easier spray control, hits harder against armored and non-armored players.
Yeah, it does hit a bit harder.
And the spray dispersion is way less for 200 difference. Like, for me, that feels worthwhile. I feel like in the right hands, it could be a real pocket rifle.
Yeah, I mean,
I just think
maybe it does fit that balance.
Using it. Yeah.
Like, in between, you know, your Mac 10 and your MP9 are true SMGs with like that run and gun, distracting crosshairs, things like that. I think, maybe the MP7 is somewhere in that thread through gap down the middle where it's a little more expensive than your SMGs, a lot cheaper than your rifles, and it sort of tries to do both jobs.
Yeah, and the one thing that is really good, obviously we don't really see it at the pro level, but I guess sort of at like our level or whatever, when we're playing, the MP7 is now incredibly accurate running, like full running.
Yeah.
Where the MP9 got a big nerf in that, so we don't really, obviously not really going to see it in this kind of tier 1 pro level, bar if you're kind of rushing in towards a site or whatnot, but I think it's got some validity to it. It's also a bit of a moneymaker in the right hands as well. Because I didn't see anyone in that round. It's a bit of a throwaway, a bit of a nothing. They've kind of recouped the losses a bit by just keeping hold of what they can. Kind of gambling towards the A site here. B is completely open. They threw a smoke early. They're trying to bait them into heading towards A. So far, it looks like the opposite is happening. They're moving forward back in towards tunnels, and they're kind of not hearing anything, not spotting anything. This might tempt them to go for a B here. It really depends if Key can get one with the scout. If he can get an early shot, that actually might force them back towards A.
Still think they're pretty sold over here. Keen will smoke off and look to cover middle, though. Rings off, but the gap is just far too closed out. Maybe you're on to something, though, as they will take the hit and feel like they've been seen and actually consider moving the bomb back towards A, but then they reconsider their reconsideration.
Yeah.
This is PVISION on Dust 2, man. They just keep these ideas coming, trying to play a lot looser than maybe James teams in the past. And here it's going to work. They split the difference on defense, slip the net, but can't land the shots. With the 5-on-3, that should be that. They have the armor here, so I think they'll just hold on to that, and a decent amount of utility for a couple of the players. So yeah, it will be another slightly boring save for SemperFi.
Yeah, they don't know it, but they honestly could have won this round, you know, a minute and a half ago, or like a minute ago, basically.
Yeah,
they could have won it in the first 15 seconds, just walking towards B, but obviously they didn't know that. So they take their time trying to dissect what the defense is looking like. And actually, they do an excellent job. Like, the whole thing in this sort of round, and what Jamie is calling is basically, we've got to avoid the stack. Hence why they are a little bit sort of nervy and double-checking, doing their due diligence. Because they just want to make sure that they don't walk into a stack and lose guns for nothing, lose numbers for nothing. And in the end, yes, it looks maybe overly pedantic, right? But we're seeing them walk away with a flawless round. Everyone survives. And this now makes it a nice, true bonus buy heading in towards round number 4 as well. He got the saved SMGs. I say that before. Jame will upgrade in towards an AWP, but for the most part, around that, people are just keeping hold of what they've got, at least for the moment. And if you're able to convert a true bonus buy against what is now the first full buy of SemperFi, that's where SemperFi's chances go from kind of, in my mind, slim to none.
All right, let's see. Pressure on, as SemperFi really didn't deliver in the rifle rounds on map number 1. So it's kind of a series question of, like, can we win out rounds like this? Really smoke towards long will keep them at bay. The widespread default. See a lot of teams put resources into one particular area, but these guys are wanting to just keep everywhere covered for now. Not sure how that missed. Keen robbed, potentially, of a bullet between the legs. Zello is going to eat a nade to kick off the damage. Addict trying to find some timing here. They're watching for him too. Has to be very careful as he tries to move away before they can close the gap, take him down. And he's on the opposite side now, so the nade doesn't reach him.
Molly down CT. Took him trying to scale. First, found. Looks for a second, but it's Savage, who does get 2. Okay, hang on a moment here. Savage gets 2. Numbers taken by SemperFi, and we've crept under the minute mark as well. Now this becomes kind of interesting. James trying to call as best he can, but Belchinok gets a freebie. That feels unnecessary for me for Shady. He's now given the chance of these numbers being level, but the HP is better. Oh, the likes of PVISION. Jamie, if he held that angle in towards doors, there probably was a kill for free there. They're double pump executing in towards his A site. There's only 1 on site. So Savage, who's got 2, now has to go huge again.
Yeah, but he's got his shoulders out, right? He's really convinced them that there's another player around. He will lose his head. They will take control of the site. Addict down below. Can't do too much to stop them. I think the molly doesn't quite reach. Yeah, that is unfortunate. Landed a bit funky. See here, 3 versus 2. That's Hazard and Addict.
It's really unfortunate that molly not spreading. That changed around a little bit.
I think it could have maybe given them a kill back in. But not the case. And James left comfortable. to find a couple kills on the AWP. Really well done in the end. And PVISION, again, just making it look easy.
Yeah, that investment towards the AWP ends up being a really nice investment. As simple as that, right? For him, it's kind of one which he utilizes, generally speaking, as well for information. It's like, you know, crosses in towards door, using it to set up in a lot of senses as well. How Keen doesn't get that? It looks like, you know, there's an air strafe that comes through from the top mid player, but it looks like he maybe slightly overflicks to the right-hand side. That's unfortunate, but ultimately, it's a bonus buy for PVISION, just come out on top. I mean, that is alarm bells ringing off, that is for sure. Opener found by Zelo, but an instant response. He'll lose his head to the Deagle. And waiting patience pays off as Jame will get his. Flash over. Notice he needs to be very careful. Lower control is very much not under their control. You're scaled in towards B. No one's home, but this flank's brewing. And actually, Addict potentially has a way of kind of splitting the gap here, because you can actually see his way sort of tempted to join them in towards tunnels, but he's out holding for this possibility.
Yeah, and I mean, they picked up some guns, so they've decided, let's just keep these, actually. And Addict misses his window, made a bit of noise down below that I think was heard by Zwei on his way in.
He's crossed.
Yeah, looking for exits here. Might be able to get one. They've lost some track of him. Oh, it's close for another. Not quite going to happen, but, you know, you'll take the damage. All the same, PVISION just very quickly back to that regularly scheduled programming, up to 5. And it's looking all too easy. You know, not a lot of contest in these rounds, unfortunately. Yes, there's a lot of low buys here for SemperFi early on in proceedings, but just not able to give us anything so far.
Yeah, it's been a very, very simple showing. Ultimately, from this side, you know, this first time Alec has taken it by SemperFi, it actually has to be now a really, really big undertaking to recover into this. You've looked a little bit worse for wear. You've not shown up a lot in terms of what are the niceties we look towards on the CT side. Now, generally speaking, when, you know, for me, the way I value strength on this CT side comes from what is that proactivity looking like on the CT side? Like, how much do you try and take map control off them? How much do you try and play with the timings? How often are you trying to make the executes uncomfortable? And unfortunately for SemperFi, we haven't really seen any of that. They're playing a very defaulty setup in terms of how they're kind of playing towards the site. It's kind of a pretty much of a standard either a kind of a 3-1-1, one towards B, one towards mid, 3 towards A. What they're doing right now, right, you send 2 out towards long, you sit 1 up and towards short as basically your contact player, a mid player and a B anchor, right? That's a very standard setup. The other one being a 2-2 split if you're expecting a B pop, right? The issue is you want to see SemperFi actually trying to utilize bits of control. Like here and towards long, you can start getting a bit active, which is they're kind of starting to do now as well. Send the bodies in. The flashing is perfect, though, and that's where the support is required from Keen with the AWP. If someone gets flashed in, he needs to be the one finding the kill. And unfortunately, he's going to get tagged, but he'll get the kill on towards Jame. So there's bits of the proactivity, which the tag pause has been useful for.
Yeah, lovely to see. Nice little angle from Addict, going to work out as well. So that gives them the man advantage, the coveted man advantage, of course, for SemperFi in particular. Refaces. Loses his life, so damage has been done, but the numbers workable. Beltronok in a great spot here as well. Keen looking for more. Can he get it on this AWP? Is he quick enough? I think he will be. Spots him out before he even knows what hit him. Really great spot now for this CT side to be in. 40 seconds left on the clock to recover things, but neither of these players at full health. It feels like it is just too tall of a task, especially with this AWP hidden in the pit, right? He can just buy so much time, and indeed, they will see it off. So SemperFi, with some proactivity, what you talked about, comes in at the perfect moment, and it works out.
Exactly, and that's exactly what you want to be having off the back of that sort of tack timeout taken. Brilliant work. You kind of immediately try and make life a little bit uncomfortable. You try and find where the gaps are, and you want to be fighting fire with fire, right? To take down, especially a side of the caliber of PVISION, you cannot afford to let them dictate the pace and the tempo of this game outright. If they do, you are not even getting a sniff in towards these rounds, right? So that's what you want to be seeing. Getting yourself into a bit of control, kind of brute forcing your way into some of these engagements. And again towards lower, that's a great nade as well. Might be able to get himself a kill off the back of it, and he can. Zelo, down he goes. Unfortunately, he's been caught in a couple of these opening engagements, and to make matters even better, Alex got out. So he's got his, dipped in, got information, got a kill and fallen away.
Goes a little quiet. Keen still feeling himself here in towards short. Got some support as well to work with. So could be a make or break position over here. And look at the T side stacking up, ready to go. Dry swing. Oh man, a tag for a tag. Huge damage done onto Nota though because of it. So an advantage looks pretty damn good now. There's a smoke in. Takes the peak off the back of it. Was maybe wanting more of a flash. Meanwhile, the pivot towards middle here from both teams is causing a lot of action. Keen with so many tags, but not enough frags. Very hidden in the corner, will go down. So now maybe starts to come to fruition all this damage that's been done. They will get the plant with a long rotate towards long. This could get messy. The AWP is here and ready! And James hits both! Because of course he does. Oh my god, the 1 in a million move works out for James. Just got the timing, hit the collateral. That is ridiculousness.
Cerebral superstar, James. That is just ridiculous. Of course, he gets that to perfection. He's read them like a book. Jump across CT because there's a gap in towards that smoke. You go out towards long because you know that is probably where they have to be retaken from. And fantastic. They just line up.
His timing's just perfect.
Yeah.
And he ran there immediately.
Perfect.
Like his teammate was planning. He was like, right, I know you've got that.
Yeah.
I heard him rotating, or I just have that sixth sense.
Yeah.
And he immediately set off towards long. Just so well read.
Brilliant. Honestly, brilliant. It was millisecond level perfect.
Yeah.
If he's quite literally half a second late, they're not lined up, and he probably gets traded, and in doing so, it leaves his teammate on site in a 1v2, low on HP, one coming from short, one coming from the long side of things. So honestly, that has single-handedly bailed them out of that round. Beautiful.
That's
Beautiful
what we came
him.
for.
Yeah.
That's what we came for,
That's
guys.
it.
The PVISION just chef's kiss Counter-Strike, you know? It's just beautiful to watch, man. It really is.
Yeah, when the cogs are whirring, it's a delightful display. It really, really is. Anyway, back towards the A site. Shady's here and towards ramp. I'm assuming they might have just contact swing him. A Molotov will tickle the toes, I think, momentarily. He got Keen at range with the AWP, and he will line up a shot, and that's where Shady will show his face and show his cards as he looks for more. Shady makes it a second, and in a matter of moments, it's Jamin's way again in a 2vx situation, but this time it's a 2 versus 5 rather than a 2 versus 3.
Yeah, certainly going to be tougher. The bomb at the feet of the CT side as well. And I think this time, with how the last round went and the craziness of it, they're not going to take any risks here. No one's going to be on that overface, gather the info, and see it through. Make sure you get this one.
Might be time,
for the first time in the series.
First time in the series. James time, I think, might be in play here. They're not
got the bleeding sticker on his scope.
Yeah.
This guy knows what he's doing, man. He knows what he's doing.
Yeah, they're not looking to recover that bomb. Extra frags are nice, though, because the money still isn't super secured up for SemperFi. Like, if I'm SemperFi, I don't actually want to be hunting here. Generally, hunting when the T side is saving is a good idea, but I think for them, shoring up the econs is a smarter decision long-term in this spot. Save comes through. The James time is there. And will be a second on the board for SemperFi. Again, it's still a long road to recovery already. Not as long as we saw at the tail end of Mirage, but definitely in terms of the momentum right now, yes, that's a hiccup, but ultimately PVISION are winning these hard rounds. SemperFi still need to see a lot more to be convinced of the chance of that. Game holding towards lower. Nota has got the pretty tough and unenviable task of actually trying to clear out towards mid. He's sort of got to be the fight on towards the orb. Speaking of said orb, Keen's making a move in towards tunnels here, and he's going to net a kill. He's getting really active. I like what I'm seeing from Keen. He's a lot of confidence showing, and especially making up for Hazo's being a bit quiet. He was doing that in towards Mirage. He's sort of taking that space.
No, it's great to see from Keen. Keep that confidence coming into this series. They are going to react with a quick move towards A. Haddix has moved in towards the site and hidden away, but the heads will roll here. This is James Bread and Butter coming in from short. Absolutely brilliant stuff as they will hold it off. James wasn't even with them, but ultimately that's where I think he became a bit famous, was from A short, and you can see why. Super clean.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Again, you know, opening kill goes the way of SemperFi, and you lose it. Like, it's one of the most damning stats to have as a kind of a team is the amount of 4v5s you lose, right? When you've got the man advantage, when you get the opening kill, like opening kill success rate, like that is like having that low is one of the worst stats to have. James could have taken a pop shot there, but his team actually gets in the way. Zelo sort of, unfortunately, jumped just as they were jumping across, so he couldn't take his pop shot. It'll come through and I'll tag him a little bit. Playing two towards B early, and actually limited mid control, to be fair.
Yeah, it's a setup change. I think they're maybe expecting something different. As PVISION answering back pretty keenly, but SemperFi still competing in these rounds, which is definitely a difference from the early stages of this map. So they're expecting something a bit different. They will start to slowly pivot round. I think it's also the fact that long has just not really been a point of contention for PVISION. Will be another short hit. Pretty much exactly the same. Oh man, Keen not flashed off. Same thing again, might just see their downfall here. And the sight smoke as well is so troublesome. Big counter that seems to have only really crept in.
They're cancelling.
Recently, and indeed they will move away. They do not feel confident anymore.
That's a really interesting cancel because look, they've got two smokes to work with for an execute now. Looks like they're going to double back towards B, but they might have to win raw aim duels. This is a rarity to see PVISION actually kind of stuck, if anything. Attic jumps on the corner, James takes a pop shot. They now know, of course, that surely he's the insurance policy. He will get one before he falls, so he gets one of the entry as well, but Belchinok will be found. 2 versus 3, time ticking, sub 10 seconds to get this C4 down, and I think might just dive in and deny it. No, he's going to respect the plant, but kills will come through, and that's a nice retake on towards the site. That is the first time this series that we've actually seen PVISION look, honestly, a bit kind of dazed and confused in a sense. They did look a little bit perplexed by the initial A hit. They kind of put all their eggs in towards that basket, and when they call for the cancel, like I said, they have 2 smokes to work with for an execute. Like, that's never going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, certainly going to happen, isn't it, when you draw away from A, when they put all their chips in over there. Maybe they just have to see that through.
Yeah. I think if anything, you guys got to double pump it. I think you got to go back in.
Yeah.
You've committed so much to that, to then fall away and try and cancel. And especially because they hadn't really even seen everyone, as we kind of saw. There was a B player and a quick rotating towards mid. Like, yeah, first time we've seen them actually be out-called, out-red.
No, it's true. And now the change-up coming in. Now the follow-up round, they will hit towards long finally, which Shady's got himself into a nice routine over there. No one really been around to contest him. And now, in fact, it is the entire team. So, opening kill for PVISION. Trying to keep them down on only 3 rounds. Really not a lot to work with, is it? Savage up top. A dangerous angle, but he makes it work for that opening kill on the CT end. So much damage done here as well.
Hang on.
Quick flank is successful. Hazard from behind, looking for a bit more. He's going to get it. They will deal with him. They will indeed deal with the site player, but there's just a few too many targets to get through here.
Belch not going to clutch. He's good in these late rounds. We saw one do one in towards Mirage, but not this time. Savage will see him off. And honestly, nice work. Again, this is actually now SemperFi showing that they can win rounds where they immediately outcall, but also in a situation like that where it is in towards the latter stage of the round itself, and it's a bit of a hard one. You've got to get your individuals firing all cylinders, and they do. Good work. I mean, this is actually a very nice round to fall back on. We talk about successes and how you find your way into kind of winning maps and winning series and whatnot, and it's rounds like that which are ultimately replicable. Like, the game plan has worked out nicely, the calling there, the synergy, the trading off each other is really effective. Like, these are all positive signs. These are all things that ultimately we just did not see on Mirage. Whatever they've had in terms of their 15-minute team talking between the 2 maps, they've plugged a few gaps in the armor, that is for sure. Keen going aggressive, and I don't hate him for it at all. He's been working for the most part through that first half, so I like that he's sticking true to his guns, but it's just a missed shot ultimately. But it's information gain.
Really great to see. Deep into B smoke coming in, so not necessarily going to be acting upon that. all gone very, very quiet here as they're trying to keep attention on that B bomb side, but I'm not sure if the bomb is going to join up. I think it might. They're bursting through mid as the main move here. They will get away with that, but there's 3 CTs posted up on the B bomb site itself, so really going to have to go crazy here. It's not going to happen. Just such a strong crossfire. Addict and Savage mowing them down. 7-5. Fair recovery. It took a bit of time, but SemperFi are able to pick up some momentum there as they look pretty damn good towards the end of that first half. We're going to have to find out if they can keep it up in the second. Welcome back in, folks. We are maybe considering a third map. Maybe ever so slightly. I mean, we'll
Potentially
see.
premature to be starting this conversation.
There's a little bit of something there for SemperFi, and they have been good on the pistols, so yeah, maybe I am jumping at it, but I'm excited to see if there is a certain delivery here from SemperFi, whether they can keep things going, or if PVISION CT side is just going to be too much to get through.
Yeah, let's see. Potentially premature, but I like the thinking. I like.
I'm a hopeful kind of guy.
Yeah, opening the door to that narrative. The pistols have been good for SemperFi so far this series. Like, they've actually had the edge. So I'm not going to discount it in that sense. Already damage on towards James, a slight tag on towards Keen. Oh, let's see. So wait. He's going to be called back over towards the site. He's got to hit some of these shots, though, that's for sure, because he's being flanked upon. Hazard and Keen combine. James will find one through the smoke. So a bit of fortune favoring him, but the bomb goes down nonetheless. This is a good-looking round so far for SemperFi.
Yeah, no kit available. They do have the Julies, of course, but not really at the ideal range here. Addict holding out for this flank. Oh, takes a bit of work. He was only 2 HP. He was only 2 HP, but it looks all good. Belchonok will back away, tail between legs here, and look to save the Julies.
Yeah. Julie's half armor is just, and the smoke, I guess. It's all small little additions that, I guess, in some way might help later down the line. But again, like we've been reiterating, SemperFi on the pistols have actually looked at the better side. Like, this is the glaring weakness right now for PVISION. It's giving opportunities for the SemperFi side to start opening at least the doors to some conversations, right? So now, off the back of that, basically nothing really found. I don't expect there to be a force buy, but we do see the PVISION light going for them, so we'll have to see. But ultimately, where we're at the moment, SemperFi should be tying this game up, if not actually chaining the momentum to take a lead. We are going to see that force come through. They can't bring multiple SMGs this time because they just didn't get the kills. Yeah, scout in play. And B9, the Eagle double 5-7. In towards map number 1, in this spot, PVISION won this round, and it kind of propelled them to just closing out the map. SemperFi, who've got large in part tenfold the firepower and the util, if they can win this here, this might be that door opening to the third map.
No, it is true. It is certainly true, and we look to the first rifle, really, but we'll start, I think, one step at a time is maybe what you're getting at. This looks like a pretty good round. Yay. Contacting up short is crazy work. They drop into CT.
Oh my
and
God.
Eventually, surely, got to find this kill.
One of the fights of all time.
Once you get used to the jumping rhythm, when his knee shows, it takes a bit of time. But yeah, it's all good for SemperFi, and that's a very cheeky move to just get in the head of your opponent, contacting up short, like you sort of just don't care.
It's bold. It really is bold. Because it's one of those moves as well that the worst case scenario around it is that you see the likes of a PVISION gamble stack towards A, you contact up and you just get shredded, right? And that looks, you know, on the surface really, really quite ugly in a sense, but in this occasion it's kind of beautiful, right? They walk through, they catch them off guard, easy aim duels one. Oh, shady, of course, which was a little worse aware on the eye. He killed him. Yeah, just kill him. Just took a whole clip, tap it away. But we're tied square. SemperFi should be taking the lead here. This is now starting to get interesting. Now, again, like you said, we're not really going to like properly entertain that narrative until we see maybe 1 or 2 gun rounds come through. But
see, after you get that kill, that's when you say one tap.
Yeah.
And then everyone goes,
That's where I would use my keybind of breaking news. Local man gets 1D.
Yeah. Bless him.
I wonder if any pros use keybinds like that. Surely
I feel like that's got to be
banned,
so
right?
BM.
Yeah.
Also, yeah, probably because it
surely it's banned. But that'd be hilarious.
Jump throw type conversation, which you don't really need anymore. But you know.
But yeah, if you people were doing like just next round or like just
I feel like people would complain.
Yeah. Funny though. Let's see. 5-7 up with this could be messy. There's one. For 2 as well. 5-7 up close. They can rip heads, but he only gets 1. And Savage just double pumping around that corner will catch him with the Galil. But again, getting 1 for 1, it's okay. Does damage.
It's the information that's the big thing, though.
True.
They were stacking over towards B, and now with what Zwei has seen, they're rotating in. It may well get cut off here. Keen is very, very low, so he's instantly traded. But he also picks up some decent information. James going to take a lot of damage. There's a conversation here. They will, of course, be looking to buy into the next round, but Belchonok's got his hands onto an AK. Seems like they still want to go for it, though. They feel confident in the numbers. Shady needs clearing. He hears some footsteps coming his way. It's a small sort of bait move here, but it's not going to get fully cleared. James is around. Seems like he knows about him, so maybe James did step as well at one point a little earlier. Should be all she wrote for this round, and pretty cleanly done, considering the fact that the early kill, the early rotations looked pretty dangerous.
I know they have a buy-in towards the next round, but I'm actually kind of surprised that they don't save there. You know, it's obviously so inherently ingrained in towards James' kind of philosophy is we like to laugh and joke about, but you know, having an AK in towards the next round will actually be quite a nice thing to have. It's, in theory, a bonus buy for SemperFi. A couple of reinvestments do have to come through, hence why we see Keen going towards the AWP. But yeah, generally just having an open player would have been nice. Somebody like a Belchinok who's doing a lot of the anchoring, that would really help out. Eevee's faced with a few. We'll see. This first gun round will be a big test to see whether SemperFi have the stones to take this map number 2. Jump across Keen. A little late to the party on the pop shot. They've already made their way towards B. They're double stacking early here. PVISION. Belchinok wants to fight. Oh, he gets one for it, but Addict and Shady combine well. They've cracked open the B site. We could already be tempting a save. If they get a smoke down towards door, which they do now, and the nade actually kind of opens things up a little bit prematurely, I think we're saving it, PVISION. SemperFi should be taking a 9th.
Bro, they're shooting back.
Yeah.
They're shooting back. That was really well held. Great little fights. They've got some gimmicks. They've got some nuancey plays, but they do them well. And I'm starting to get a little convinced, partial convinced at this stage.
I'm like 40% of the way there.
Yeah. So, you know, PVISION going to have their work cut out if they are to take it in 2. SemperFi looking good. It's just a case of how deep this well goes, I think, and whether they can continue these types of moments.
James time indeed.
There he is.
And James, I beg of you, do not make me watch Inferno, please. Not day one. Not this map. Not this map.
With James.
Yeah, James Inferno, please.
We should do what like crowds do every time there's a save. Like one of us just boos.
Just boo. You know,
Inferno is crazy for it though.
Scratch Dante's Inferno, James Inferno. It's
Yeah,
way worse. That's the 9th ring of hell right there.
It is.
Don't make me do it. But just an overfight there, really. Zelo and Belchinok. First time we see, if I'm right in saying this whole series of timeout from PVISION, they didn't call one until that first map.
No, yeah. You're absolutely correct.
First time we actually get to see it as, I say Dastan gets onto the mic, he's actually not speaking. So maybe kind of leaving this up to James in a sense, but also just a bit of a, you know, reset the mental in a sense. We have an investment to work with. We do have loss bonus, of course, as well for PVISION. We're around those saves. Very easy to rebuy in towards this round. But as a whole, for the first time this series, I'm liking what I'm seeing from SemperFi. They offered up very little amounts in towards Mirage to be happy with, bar a few bit of individual brilliances. But this is actually looking kind of good. The team's playing really nicely.
Yeah, I think PVISION probably agreeing with you, and they're like, we got to do something about this. So
lock in, I think, is the first
hopefully
one.
this will be the round in which that happens. Some aggression towards long as they look to lock them out of the long house. So establishing some map control in the early stage of the round. It's going to be a short move. James thinking about sticking around, but he will ultimately back away. Trade up of locations. Send James towards long. He puts Vey on the site, so that's kind of interesting. But it is a slow roll here from SemperFi.
They've stuck with this double stack towards B. Oh. As it takes a little tag. Flash over will basically only catch Shady there. Smoke down, he's going to dive in front of this. Oh, he's going to get in towards CT. That is beautiful from Shady. Nota, no chance. And now this double stack in towards B might get called upon in a moment. Trying to spam through the smoke, but what can they do? Belchinok, the answer's nothing for him, but will they expect the second? Zelo's here, he looks for the first and he'll get it, but there's a lot more that comes forward. And Savage, a simple one as he just dives in through the window, and another one where PVISION just get dissected. That dive from Shady in towards CT is excellent. Finds the gap just as the smoke plumes on towards short, and PVISION just don't hold it. If they're holding their own smoke there, they catch him no bother.
Yeah, it's a real problem. It's a real problem. I mean, it's something that they seem to quite like, the old drop down into CT. They've done it.
Yeah.
I think this would maybe be the third time, certainly the second.
The thing is, surprisingly, the one thing that is costing PVISION is communication, which is normally the thing they're arguably one of the best in the world at, right?
I think there may well be a case after that first map of foot off the gas is the way we like to say. Just not quite as focused. And pistol into rifle, and it very quickly stacks up. And then you have the wind sort of working against you on that CT side. The money isn't there. So it's really an uphill battle.
I love that move. It's just great.
Brilliant.
Like, it's just as the smoke plumes. It's perfect. Like, SemperFi, they are legit playing good Counter-Strike right now. There's no complaints I can have about them at all. Both now across the CT and the T side, we're seeing great developments in terms of how this side can contest. And, well, maybe not that kind of time. Keen, he'll get caught by Jane. Sure, they're not on their game, but they can still hit the shots. Nice show that come through as well, keeping the numbers in favor of PVISION. There is information to be gained, though, off the back of Alex's death. Like, he spotted 3 people there. There was 1 to his right, 2 on the left-hand side who swung and traded him. There's a lot of numbers here. That's a bold move, and a move that will not pay off. A risk not rewarded as Hazard will fall, and Savage and Shady have got to do a lot in this round to save face, as it looks like PVISION might be biting back a little bit.
Take some guns away if you can. Keep the Econ under the cosh. James going to have to potentially deal with them in just a moment here. You're looking for a fight on both sides, really. But James not taking the chance. You know, he's not usually the one to walk past that boundary. It seems like Shady is really, really begging for it here. He will walk straight into the crosshair of the orb. So
James knows it's the right eye peek for him, right?
Yeah.
Like he's winning that every day of the week. For Shady, left eye peek and coming through doors, there's no chance of hell. James too patient. That's never going to work. Savage gets his kill, but he gets dinked in the making, and that'll probably cost him a little bit more damage to the HE. And with 25 seconds, there's no way he's dissecting this defense. Does have the bomb on his back, but it's not going to make a difference.
Yeah, it's kind of just a slow save angle. If he doesn't save, not the end of the world. And yeah, tries to go in for a bit of something, but will get taken down. So 2 rounds to difference now. PVISION on a bit of a comeback train. And when you see them over the edge of your shoulder, I think it can be a pretty scary demon that you got to try and shake off here. So SemperFi have to be careful.
I mean, for sure, there's been respect being earned here by the SemperFi side, but they would still love to be able to take themselves towards a 3rd map to prove to themselves as well that they can contest what is the #1 ranked team at this stage. That was long. Blind Jane takes a pop shot, a hopeful one, but an unsuccessful one. Sway as well here in support, but we're playing towards Pit. Sway's best option is actually falling away from Long now. It's not a fight that you really want to be taking. It's at times a bit of a 1 in a million shot at range, but no drop close towards short will find his. That'll open up proceedings. And you at this point as well, if you are PVISION, which is actually what they're doing, you can allow them to scale. It's actually in your kind of advantage to let them scale up and fight them on the site rather than fighting them on the distance along. That feels a bit overzealous to send Sway in towards the fray, though. You've got the numbers advantage, and then you squander it back into a 4 versus 4. But I like this from Nota. Does Savage even expect this? I mean, he's got to do his due diligence of clearing, and he's got to actually win out the fight. Nice work from Savage.
I think they really wanted to be sure that they were still towards Long. It's just such a quick sacrifice of players.
Yeah.
And the flank doesn't work. Timing of it all is slightly off, I think. Head towards A. Resmoke on the cross. Slowly moving forwards here with man advantage. Oh, it's a great flash. Just trickles along the floor. Zello to find a key frag, and there's smokes on the site, smokes on the ramp, just getting in the way here for the T side of things. Zello runs out of ammo. He could have been the hero, but he's denied the opportunity. It's all on James. The bomb plant comes in. He looks to work around these smokes. Keep the silence. How does he play it from here is the question. Oh man, he's just missed maybe the slimmest of timings. He's moved on to the USP. This is not going to happen. 2 round the corner. Surely. Absolutely got to be the orb. Waiting for the smoke to go down. Clear out the site. But he's not ready. Savage on the off angle will take him down. A 4-piece for Savage. As SemperFi are doing it.
That's why we're highlighting him as well, right? Another showing, you know, we brought up this conversation, this head-to-head, right, of Savage and Nota in towards that, you know, pre-series before heading in towards the first map. And we kind of said that, you know, these situations that if Nota's playing well, it's quite indicative of PVISION playing well. If he's playing badly, it's also indicative of the side. Look at his rate, 9-14 right now. Flip side, Savage had a really poor map number 1. The team struggled. Now 15-7, and SemperFi are doing well. They are kind of litmus tests for their own, team's response in a sense, and they're a really good look in to how these teams work out. Fantastic 4-piece though from him. Really, really nice. So self-sufficient, right? A lot of those fights he's just taking on his own, doing his own legwork and coming out on top. 2 away now. And let's be frank, if PVISION lose round number 20, that is the map gone, surely.
Yeah. Might even be an argument to be made that the previous round was the make or break moment.
Yeah.
We're going to find out. Once again, short presence coming in from SemperFi as they look to slowly but surely scale their way in. They do get some B smokes down though, as well as an A trickle. I mean, it's very confusing right now for PVISION as to where they're headed, but PVISION are sold on B and they are not going to move, stealing a setup from SemperFi, it feels, as this was how they closed out their first half. So we're going to find out. Belchonok misses the timing, trying to get away, trying to survive. Actually takes a kill with him. And maybe a few more here as well. Nota in towards Car is the one that is completely forgotten about, not considered at all. And Svi to finish it off. So PVISION read the situation perfectly. Of course, it's the B burst that lets SemperFi down.
Yeah, that's an excellent early to mid round as well, just to kind of shore up those B defenses. Really, really nice read there. Whether it was from Jame or a mid-round call from somebody else. It's quite a vocal young core on the side, but that's nice. The 3 players there ready. There was just no way they were breaking it down. Trades had to go so positively for the T side, which is such a big ask. And every time, you kill one, there's half expectation of that could be it on the B side, right? Maybe there's a mid player over towards door. Then you kill a second, and you're like, okay, well, surely that's it. That's the B defenses. They see a third, and you can see it perplexes them. Like, they had numbers there ready for that fight. Second time out by SemperFi. It's a 2-round game. PVISION find themselves 2 rounds behind. SemperFi 2 rounds away from pushing us to that Inferno. Arguably a bit of a pick your poison situation for SemperFi. It's kind of losing 2 or be forced to play James Inferno.
Yeah, no, it is very true. It is very, very true.
Best of luck.
Take the first peek here. He's on the crack, and he will indeed find the kill. Has a left low as well, so this is a pretty damn good look for PVISION as they desperately try and claw at this SemperFi lead. But with such a solid start, you feel like James PVISION should be able to convert from here.
Yeah, surely. Opening kill. Has a hit down low. 38 points of HP for him. They can stop moving their way through. Next time Molly could really hinder the pack as they're moving forward. It'll actually split them up to make matters all the more better. Nota. Waits the flame. He's going to dump it at Util as well just to try and buy time for this rotate to come through. Nota, right idea, but he's also got support at range holding this angle. As all Pierre's head around the corner. Bomb's going to go down though. That's a positive. They can work upon a post-bomb, but numbers are starting to dwindle. Belchonok will find Addict. That'll help. And as they start moving in, there's just so many people to find here. So many CTs who are hungry for kills. And in a matter of just a few seconds, Keen's left all alone. It felt like there was maybe for half a second to a second legs behind that. But then numbers dwindle so quickly.
Without any kind of long presence, the A post plan is pretty damn hard. So it's tough. It is tough. They make their way in, but again, off the back of the initial find from Jame, I don't think there's many teams in the world that would be able to convert that one, So, it's really, really tough. And it continues getting tougher as, yes, the AWP makes it out, but
the fire around it.
Yeah, this is really quite rough. Going to go to 11-11. We're probably therefore going to go the distance, or we definitely are going to go the distance.
Really?
And maybe a few more as well.
Really?
Yeah. See, the thing is, you have to be careful with what jokes you make because we're sat right next to each other. So, you know, you might get slapped. You might get slapped if you're not careful. No, I would never do that. Your face makes us quite a lot of money, I think.
You're too kind. Well, this one, unfortunately, like for SemperFi, realistically, everyone else around Keen, your best option is actually just being cannon fodder. Throw yourself into the fight a little bit. Like isolating duels against PVISION in this sort of a buy is such a big ask. So I don't know. I mean, this is a really interesting fact, though. If you actually can find Zway for free out towards long, it gives you space to scale, but it also actually kind of draws attention away from short, where then you can go for an ace split. Like, that's how you fathom ideas. Oh, he gets a dink. The flash is good. And the trade's not bad. AK scooped up, and this is what we're talking about. It's going to draw attention now and allow for this short split angle to actually be a real problem. PVISION are drawn away from this long control and actually forced to think about this being an idea. And now they start to scale. This is exactly kind of what you want to see. They've got to hit the shots, though.
Yeah, just don't have anything for the cross.
Yeah.
So surely it's impossible. Insane shots needed.
Everyone's here now.
And it's just not going to happen. Shadow spotted.
It's the orb.
Yeah, I mean, the hopes and dreams fading away. 10 seconds. Shady goes down. As a nice start, but what do you do from there? You know, what do you do from there, really? I think they just had to try and send it, sacrifice a couple players, force a bomb plant, but even then, that doesn't sound very winnable either. So 11-11 on the board. The inevitability here has arrived. We're going to find out if SemperFi have got it in the tank to keep this one going and take us to that third, or if they will have the ultimate heartbreaker.
I mean, let's be real. It's kind of now or never, really, for SemperFi for staying alive, right? Because they've had to rebuy in, and sure, they get the orb in play, but because of Keen saving the orb and then dying the following round, he's got no armor. He's glass cannon here, so it's a real gamble. And don't get me wrong, his orbs look quite good, but that was primarily on the CT side when he was being really kind of, he had a lot of audacity in the fights he was taking. On the T side, he hasn't had the same level of impact. So glass cannon orb, it's a bold decision, to be perfectly honest. But SemperFi, you lose this one, you've got no money left over. You are in serious trouble.
But I mean, that would just be the case. You know what I mean? Like, they have to win it from here. Or even in their book, secure the OT would be a pretty solid feat.
Yeah.
Against PVISION. It looks like they're going for the B move. Oh. I don't like it. Zway's going to win his fight.
Oh, no!
Belchonok! Something possesses him, and they're going to make it out. He's missed the timing now. That could be all the difference. We're going to find out. They're moving quick. They're leaving gaps open, so he's still able to find the head of one. 5 on 3. They have one smoke and a flash remaining here. King going to try and make a move. Oh, goodness.
Glass
Oh, goodness.
cannon.
Oh, God, they're so close.
Oh.
He manages to land one up close. The trades are in. It's Shady in behind the smoke. Can he keep it alive? The flank is super, super late here, so he has a chance to reset things, find this 1v1. He's somehow still alive. So is Nota. They miss each other by a breadth of a hair. And, oh, man, Nota from down below will find the head somehow. The very tippity top sticking out. And it is close, but it is PVISION's.
God, that so nearly falls apart. There is a real positive off the back of that, though. It's bomb plant up with loss bonus for the T side. That actually might warrant something here now to make this final round of regulation still somewhat doable. You know, we were coming into us saying that you lose this, you're in trouble, but generally speaking, it was kind of a loss without the bomb plant. Because of that bomb plant, it will shore up a little bit more of the investment, but it is still PVISION have done such a good job to recover until this point and now find themselves here. Map and series point on their shoulders, and they just need to lift it up. What a time to get a tech pause, though, right? After such a long run of things.
Yes,
it's because James gone for the toilet or something.
Well, that's a human tech pause, man.
You got one more round. Like,
yeah.
James time IRL making us wait. Come on.
Yeah,
now.
well, that's true.
Get in the server, King. Come on now.
Yeah. Amazon man's here. He's had to go let him in. I don't know. Surely, if you're a pro, you are not scheduling deliveries for.
Sorry, so
for tournament days.
Order some Pokemon cards. They just arrived.
Yeah, yeah. And alive.
I actually, the second he sat down, the typing came in, right? So I actually must have
maybe. I mean, he might have taken the opportunity. I'm not sure. Okay, now we're in like an actual tactical timeout.
Yeah.
So yeah, potentially
he might have gone for a toilet run, I think.
Which
Because he wasn't alive either, so, you know,
yeah.
he wasn't alive. He doesn't need to call. They can call for themselves. In that
I get it.
Which is actually kind of hilarious in the sense of like, they got this. I'm going to go to the toilet. See you in a bit. Then he was a little bit late coming back, so then someone else had to call the tech for him to be like,
possible.
James not here. Can't do that on LAN.
No, you can't. No.
Or maybe you can. I don't know. I don't know the rules.
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't.
Well, surely you can call a tech
I don't want
for
to
a
imagine
toilet break, right?
I don't think in the middle of a map though.
You reckon?
I don't think so.
They do it online so often.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
I suppose that's one of the LAN things. You just got to hold it. But then like the adrenaline and the atmosphere and all that probably helps you do that.
I think I've told you this before, but they actually did a study, and you play games better if you actually are holding in, needing to go for a piss.
That's kind of crazy.
Because it forces your whole body to concentrate.
Yeah, I suppose.
Same way with playing sports.
Lock
right?
in.
You actually play sports better if you're holding in, needing to go to the toilet. Because you're like fully locking into concentrating.
Well, there you go.
Well, and primarily it's concentrating on not shitting yourself, but like, but it also might help in the game.
Maybe you should have kept it then. You know, it's going to make a difference here. We're going to find out.
Let's see. He's 19-7 up to this point, holding it in. Let's see how he does in towards this round.
Go all the way to overtime. He's not found a kill.
Potential final round of play here. Round number 24. As PVISION find themselves a map and series point. And SemperFi have already earned respect to be in the consideration of an overtime, or in the consideration for taking this map, but it will be heartbreak if they squander it right at the tail end. But they're going to go for an A here, and, well, hard, mate, no one's really home. You've got one player here playing around car.
Curious setup. Definitely a curious setup. SemperFi going back to their tried and true method of quietly making it up short. Is that going to continue being the case here? They will go for the trickle. They're pretty quickly behind it. And of course, going for that CT drop. That's what they have loved here. Slight variation on it, but unfortunately, Nota is ready this time. Read like a book,
Good
and
trade.
that might just be it. Addict on the MP5 in a 1 versus 4. I can't think of a worse gun to do this with, and he will go down at the first hurdle. 13-11, heartbreak for SemperFi as they will lose out their first series. They play really well there on Dust 2. Mini comebacks, control gained, in fact, at the start of that second half, but just could not hold on to it. And in the end, James